Buku. Let's go get him again.
Welcome to the Robes08 channel. I'm your host, Mark. If you're new here and you just subscribed on this video, certainly appreciate the sub. Please comment below, introduce yourself. I love to meet new people on the channel. To all my diehards, merci beaucoup. You know I appreciate all of you. Today we're going to be discussing DS and Durga, one of the brands that I've been basically collecting like Pokemons. You've seen influx of videos of the brand on my channel. This one right here is called Grapefruit Generation from the title. Of course, you already knew that. I'm not much on YouTube on this one. No hype, no nothing. It's just the way I like it. It's nice to talk about, you know, hype train fragrances. A lot of them are generated by marketing. Shame on you, your free bottles and your fake hype. But this one right here, I think is an excellent grapefruit scent, at least from my journey. Again, everybody's journey is different. I've smelt tons of grapefruit based scents, and there's only a small handful that are great. Now, grapefruit scents are a dime a dozen, especially in the designer realm. Designer brands throw a generic grapefruit top to almost any scent. And there's not many of them, if hardly any, that really just give you a 3D effect on the note. I can basically count on one hand on all the scents I've smelt with a realistic grapefruit note that was decent, like the real thing. And again, I'm not saying that they have different strategies. It's just the perfumier or maybe the brief, they really want to do certain things. There's the grapefruit has different criteria to it that when you smell it, like a real grapefruit, there's some brands that will just give you a 2D effect. There's a lot of that, but there's some that just give you everything: the peel, the juice, the skin, whatever. I absolutely love a really authentic grapefruit scent, and this is actually one of them. And how do I know that? This is not a first impression video, even though, you know, I tout this as a unboxing first impression videos. They're not all that. This is just more of an unboxing. If you haven't seen it, I've done a sampling samples on this particular scent a couple weeks ago, maybe a month back, and I loved the grapefruit note in this one. So Durga, again, you know, my collection was only one bottle of DS and Durga for so long, and then the past 2-3 years, it's up to I don't know, 7 or 8 now, in the past 2-3 years. Now, don't expect anything crazy, even though the brand of Durga, you know, some people like to put them in the hipster aisle of, you know, Byredo, Simplistic, right? Those type of brands. This brand is known for, I don't know, having some weird and unique notes running through them. They have some that are very artistic, in my personal opinion. And this one does have like a cork note, like a wine bottle cork. And again, these things are more imageries than anything, and they also suggest that there's a silver, I think the note breakdowns in here, yeah, there's a silver note in this release. And I never got again, maybe my imagination's not going that far, and in some of their scents I can smell the quirkiness. In this one I couldn't smell what they meant by silver or even cork. There was a woody note in there that I would assume would be a cork. But other than that, in the sampling samples that I did, really the thing I gravitated towards was the grapefruit in this release. So if you haven't checked out that video, please do, because that video is more in depth than an unboxing. You know, I'm gonna give you the dry down. I'll give you a performance and what I felt about the fragrance before I pulled the trigger. Now that I pulled the trigger, we're gonna unbox this, and I am going to wear it. It's my scent of the day. I'm not wearing anything, so I'm really excited to finally unbox this thing and start wearing my scent of the day. So let's remind myself of this introduction and let's unbox this on camera. And it's not a surprise. Well, you never know. I haven't had too many of those, but I've had a few that I've sampled and not from this brand, but I've sampled the scent, and I was like, oh, this is different. And sometimes it's in a good way, and sometimes it's in a bad way. So I've noticed this a lot with Durgas, is that the inner packaging isn't the best to handle the bottle if anybody's watching from the brand. I like it. Like, this is very solid, really well done, but the interior, I feel like half of these things that I'm unboxing, the cap is off. I don't know why, but it is. So I got the big boy bottle. I'm kind of learning my lesson with Freshies, is that I probably, especially if I think it's going to be top 3 or top 5 in class, and what do I mean by that, is a grapefruit scent. So if I believe this is going to be something that I'm going to be wearing a lot of, you know, with fresh scents, you tend to put more sprays, and sometimes you tend to reapply. I've done that a lot more with Freshies than darker scents, that, you know, I wear something in the morning, 7 in the morning we'll say, and then around noon, 1 o'clock, this thing is dying. And instead of putting something else new on, I'm still getting a little faintness of it, I go and reapply the scent. So I kind of go through my Freshies a lot more, especially my favorites. So Grapefruit Generation is one of those that I feel like in the coming years, I'll be happy that I got the 100 ml. So let's delve into it. I'm gonna remind myself of this introduction. I can't wait to finally wear this again. You know, it's been a few long, hard weeks since the Samplin Samples, but no, I'm really happy of having a bottle. And yes, I've sprayed a lot there. I'll spray the blotter too. I have it here, and I don't know if I'm gonna continue to do that in, you know, unboxings. Because you can sometimes get different takes on blotters than on your skin. So let's start with the skin. Yeah, just like Samplin Samples, ultra realistic grapefruit opening. Reminds me a little bit of Pomelo Paradis, and not Pomelo Paradis from Atelier Cologne, and not Pampelune from Guerlain. Guerlain, that one is a little more of the citrus, it really, but this also gives you that sour take, and I absolutely love that. And there's not too many grapefruits that do that. Well, in real life they all do that, but in scent wise they don't all do that. I mean, it really amplifies. Yeah, but it has a Pomelo Paradis because it has almost that white skin that you have, you know, in between of the layers of the citrus, and yeah, in the skin, it really has that 3D effect of the peel and everything. And here, it's actually, you know what? It's much lighter on here. Very juicy off the strip. More depth on the skin, and not only am I getting this 3D portion of the grapefruit, but I'm also getting I'm starting to get a little bit of that leafy green backbone in this. It is still thin and uplifting as it would be on the blotter. Yeah, but those white florals are starting to come through a little bit more on my skin. And again, it's not for everybody, and I know some men out there, you know, you start saying florals and they run away. It has tuberose in here, hawthorn flower. So those are those things, and then there's an animalic musk. I think that's more of a white musk than anything else. The cork, again, it is a base note, but it really kind of gives me like a light woody aspect more than a corky. Like, I can, if I really dream real hard, maybe I could think about cork. Yeah, but that tuberose, the green tuberose, is backing up this pomelo skin grapefruit. And it does have, like in the note breakdown, it has pomelo skin as a top note, and it has grapefruit as a base note, which is kind of strange to see grapefruit all the way down there. But it actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it does smell more like the skin up top, and then it starts going more juicy. Again, a very faint scent, very thin scent. And again, in this room, it's not super hot or anything, but I feel like this type of fragrance is going to do so well in the heat that I think it's going to throw off on my skin once I get warmed up. But yeah, oh man, the greenness on the strip. Yeah, way more green on the strip. Holy crap. That's really interesting. Grapefruit and that greenness. But again, the white florals, green grapefruit. Yeah, a little bit of a woody backbone and some white musks here. But at the end of the day, I'm very happy of getting this release finally in my collection, unbox it. I will definitely be doing a test drive on this, wear it for several days. Now I can get more out of it than just what I did with the Samplin Samples. The Samplin Samples is like basically a day or two of wearing. Now wearing it for maybe a full week in the spring, especially in the dead heat of summer, so I probably will wait till then. I will give a better judgment on the release itself and how well it does. It's one of those scents that I think I will continue to reapply just to get that invigorating top note. But yeah, it's getting a little creamy now. So that grapefruit and those florals are giving out a creamy hue with some greenness. So very interesting. I'm getting, I think, a lot more out of this bottle than the actual Samplin Samples here out of this release. A little more complexity and less thin. Very interesting. Now that you heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. I know not a lot of people have smelt this. I feel like it got released and nobody really cared except for me. But I can't wait to see what anybody thinks about Grapefruit Generation. The brand of Durga, absolutely love it. I can't wait to delve more into the brand. I haven't sampled everything from the brand, so I'm going to continue to sample. But this one, I can't wait to see the takes in the comments below on this particular release. And as always, a greater pour fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your grapefruit-based fragrance wisely. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.